And lastly, I think what's really important is this issue of taking risk. Traditionally, development, the field is risk averse. And in this case, what we had to do is get agreement, which we got, to go ahead and buy vaccines at risk. We ultimately bought, I think the number was around 3.5 billion doses at risk, and delivered 2 billion of those to 146 countries. But the point there is we have to make sure that when a pandemic occurs, we have the ability to take this type of risk. Your last question was about my loving data and innovation, what's needed going forward. I think we're entering an amazing renaissance right now in vaccines, partially because of COVID. There has been an incredible investment. There were over 200 vaccines that were moving forward, new technologies, and these are going to open up possibilities for many diseases, cancer, for chronic diseases, even for processes such as aging. So what we need to do is make sure that we have technology moving forward, but then also what we need to do is make sure that we have the data to understand who's getting vaccines, and we've already heard on the panel the need to move away from the averages down to subnational data to take advantage of digital innovation and identity so that we can track where we are, and those will lead to enormous advances. During the pandemic, we had already put in 66,000 new units of cold chain, mostly solar, to help countries with their cold chain problems, but then we needed ultra cold chain, and we had to pivot and do that. These innovations are critical, and building those systems, having those tools, will ultimately what's going to lead to the next generation of interventions on vaccines. And so I'm very optimistic we will catch up. I'm very optimistic that we will make sure that vaccines are not just for under 1 year of age, but for all those who need them. We're now going to a life course of vaccines, which is going to be important. And then I see vaccinology as being a solution for many of the big problems. We have malaria vaccines. TB vaccines are coming. Of course, I hope someday for HIV, vaccines for Group B strep, for RSV. It's really going to be an interesting time, but we can't do that without the systems, the healthcare workers, the policies, and that's what this whole panel has been about. So thank you.